Hi, everybody. If you're 40 years of age or older, go ahead and give your doctor a call, schedule a colonoscopy. It's kind of a last minute thing here. Uh, got some decent weather today, and I've got a compost extract aerating here right now, and I'm going to be throwing in our activated charcoal. So I'm doing this with a laptop, so bear with me. The camera went in the compost tea a couple weeks ago. This is our activated charcoal. It was made inside my what do you call it, barrel stove, and I have a video on how that was done, but this is the result. It was made in a non-oxygen environment with high temperatures. So that is pure carbon now. Basically, carbon structure is almost or pretty much like a honeycomb structure. And the surface area of 1 teaspoon of this stuff will cover the same surface. If you broke it down to atoms, it would cover the surface of a tennis court. Anyways, I got the dog out here, so he's not hearing me and barking, so I got to keep an eye on him too. But there is our compost extract that I'm aerating right now. Neither here nor there whether you need to, but I figured it'd be beneficial at the least. So we're just going to dump that in there. And we're also going to, hey, Robert's Place. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping, man. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Hope you're having a great day. Just messing around with some experiments here. I know it's kind of common knowledge to a lot of people, but a lot of people haven't seen this stuff before, especially in my area. Miss K's garden. I can't believe it. How's it going? How you doing? Good to see you this morning. That's basically what we're doing. Then we're going to take a look at the vegetable garden maybe and whatnot. But yeah, that's basically just my old compost tea brews that kind of sat out and got all maggoty and freaking fermented and shit. And I soaked it with water last night and freaking squeezed out all the juice. And just about, I don't know, 4 hours ago, I guess, I put some air on it and got my charcoal together and my activated charcoal together, and that's what we're doing. We're just going to toss it in. We can do it whole like this, and then when we're done, there's smaller chunks or whatever too, but when they're done, we'll dry them out and crush them up. So now what we have to do, now that's all in there, right? All we're going to do is cover it with something to keep it all pressed down in the water there. And of course, this is probably too big. We'll just use this bucket and we'll weight it down. We got 3 different air stones in there. Just my regular compost brewer. Kind of squishing around a little bit. There, boom. Now, I came up with this idea a couple years ago when I first started doing the aerated compost teas. If you have your air pump and you don't want it to get wet because you're outside or whatever, all you got to do is, I've got a milk jug there connected to a string. If you lift the milk jug up, the pump comes out, so you can do all your work you need to do with your pump. And then when you put the pump back there, the milk jug back down, your pump goes back up inside, and your string for that mechanism that you're making here goes through the handle. So that's your pulley deal there. So it works pretty good. Haven't had any issues with the pump. You can see my cord's a little tangled in there, but it is what it is. All right, so let's. Oh yeah, so I showed you that. Let's go look at the garden. I've got my grass clippings I collected yesterday. Well, it looks like the dog's done. Uh, oh, here's my. These are wild strawberries. They're all over North America. You'll find them in Canada. There's a couple of different kinds, but let's see. Well, these last spring I pulled up out back and put in a pot. There was like 4 of them, 5 maybe. Took care of them. Last fall, I'm like, well, these might not survive in the pot, so I dumped them here where our old pool was 2 years ago. And now they're taking off, and they have, right now, I'm not seeing too many. Oh, here we go. The smallest strawberries. I mean, when they're out in the woods, you don't even see them with strawberries on them. The pests will get them or something. Maybe they don't get pollinated, but they're the smallest damn strawberries, and they'll turn red, and it's mostly red now. Not a lot of taste to them, and they're not real sweet, but they do taste like a strawberry. So, and they're very soft, even before they're completely ripe. All right, so we've got our grass clippings pile there. Here he comes. He likes to run around the garden, but we're not going to let him in here today just because he just got groomed. And he's a white dog. That's Doug. We'll play some catch with him in a few minutes. He's a pretty damn good catcher. All right, so we've got 2 rows of tomatoes. All of them have their own tomato cages. We've got Big Beef, we've got Bob's Big Boy, and we've got Bob's Better Boy. I like Bob's Big Boy, but I believe Bob's Better Boy does better for me. And some of the family like the Big Beef, so it's been a couple years since I had the Big Beef. I just had to grow 6 of those. These are Black Beauty eggplant. 2 of those. This stuff is all being grown with basically all my own amendments. I did purchase some Epsom salt, some bone meal, some blood meal, and some fish emulsion and some orchid bloom. Other than that, I can't think of anything else. That's neither here nor there, but most of it is just fermented plant juice and compost teas made with my own home-produced nightcrawler castings and my clay dust and the bees for the frass. I'm using honeybees, dried honeybees. Zucchini. My zucchini last year was the first time I used biochar in anything. I made my own biochar. My zucchini and my eggplant survived all year. And I've never had my zucchini and my zucchini and my rhubarb always die in July because it gets so hot and dry. I believe that the biochar kept this stuff thriving through the hottest part of the season. So I'm using it again this year on everything except for the corn. This is my pepper row. We've got cayenne, Tabasco, Cubanelle, because it got missed. Actually, we had some extras we were giving away, and this one was an extra of the extras. Then we've got, I believe these are bells. I didn't mark anything. I can identify them when they grow. And then I believe it's jalapenos and something else down there. I remember. But these cubanelles, my mom started 15 of them, and they're doing beautiful. Um, I've been picking off the flowers on everything. I'm going to stop on those, but the rest of the plants, I'm going to continue picking the flowers off for probably another week, and then the beginning of July, I'll let them start to flower and produce stuff. But I want to have a good, big, vigorous plant before it starts to fruit. The roots are just basically starting to get developed completely. This is the major honey producer of my honey bees, I guess. This is a linden tree, also known as basswood, depending on where you're at in the world. Actually, it's grown all over the world. But basswood honey and linden honey have certain properties to it that are different from any other honey. And one of it is because it comes through a tree and it's not a flower or a plant or whatever, a regular kind of plant. Um, and the other one is the honey that comes from it has a mint or spearmint resemblance to mint or spearmint. One more quarter. How you doing? Good to see you. Good morning. Glad to have you. Cheers. Bongs up. Uh, this tree, and then you can see a bee right here, and you can see another bee right here. Um, in Latin, they call it the tree. It's the name is the tree of life. However, they say it in Latin or whatever. They call it the tree of life because when it's blooming, the whole tree is full of different kinds of bees and stuff like that. So, I mean, if you could see above my head, there's bees buzzing around all over in it. It started blooming 4 days ago. That's why last week I extracted what I had for honey. I wanted to keep this honey separate. I have very few people that do like this honey, and they completely request it not with other stuff. So, um, I've yet to smell a finished cannabis plant like this, but I got to say, it almost resembles my white widow um, on the plant right now. So, anyways, RJS, what's going on? How you doing? Good to see you. That's our corn. It'll be knee high by the 4th of July, but only 49 came up. But those 49 came up in 6 days. We've had some really weird weather this year. I'm glad some of it germinated. I can deal with the 49. I'm almost the only person in the house that'll eat the stuff for whatever reason. But these are our gourds, just an assortment of gourds. These are acorn squash. That's what I make my pumpkin pies out of. So you can go to my pumpkin pie video and you can watch me make, I believe it was 18 pumpkin pies this last year. Usually it's between 20 and 22. I have retired from making that many pies. So that's why I did that video, so everybody can go there and make them themselves. But the key to that recipe is, one, you want to use the individual spices. Don't go buy pumpkin pie spice. Go buy the individual spices. And I leave out from a normal or a lot of other recipes, I leave out the nutmeg. But ground ginger, ground cloves, ground cinnamon, sugar, salt, pumpkin, can of pumpkin, Libby's pumpkin, one of them things, and a freaking buy it from the store pumpkin pie crust. I can repeat this fucking recipe with fucking my eyes closed and half asleep. I've made hundreds and hundreds of pumpkin pies. That is our giant pumpkin hugel culture. I started last year, and I don't know if it was because it was a new mound and just like a fucking race car, but every one of my pumpkins split and exploded because they grew too damn fast. So I kind of just let it chill over the winter. I haven't done much this year except for add some rabbit shit to it, and we're gonna see what happens. I built the mound because the last few years we haven't been getting anything down in this part of the garden. It's our garden's on a little bit of a slope, and this is where it stays the wettest. Well, it benefits us later in the season, but when you get freaking tons of rain in the spring, it doesn't do shit for you. So I'm getting the best of both worlds. We're gonna keep the moisture because we got wood in that hugelkultur. There's oak in there, and then amendments and grass clippings and wood chips and just the whole assortment of things. And then it's getting activated aerated compost tea and fermented plant juice. This is another giant pumpkin. I didn't go with the super giant pumpkin seeds this year. I do have some somewhere around here. Just I've moved a lot of shit lately and fucking lost them. But they are Big Macs, so they'll be a couple 100 pounds. Unfortunately, when I ran through the tiller through here the other day, I'm having tiller issues, so I was more concentrating on the tiller than I was what I was tilling. But I ran over 2 hills of my cantaloupe, which we don't grow a lot of cantaloupe or melons around here because we have such dark and not a lot of drainage in this soil, so they tend to rot. All right. And then we've got our cucumbers. I had 1 extra tomato cage, which I was surprised because I didn't think I had enough tomato cages or something to surround tomatoes and pepper plants. So when I found this one, I'm like, I'm going to put a cucumber in it and grow a cucumber in a trellis. But you can see everything is mulched in right away in their area with grass clippings on top. But underneath there is wood chips from, or not even wood chips, they're sawdust from a chainsaw. I have a guy that was removed 3 giant oak trees. And I asked, hey, can you pick me up just grab me a 5-gallon pail of some of them wood or the sawdust? He's like, oh, I got to go clean up sawdust. And then he had a couple more trees cut down. He went and instead of just giving me a bucket full, he got me 2 damn garbage cans full. So I got wood chip or sawdust to fucking do anything. So I don't think it's actually viable for doing like mushroom cultures and stuff like that. But we're going to bring back the soil that's been destroyed by fertilizer. And I'm partly responsible up till 2 years ago for just using, man-produced freaking synthetic fertilizer. Sucked everything out of the soil. If you go into this grass here, everything's black. Everything in there is freaking, it means it's not sandy because it doesn't drain well, but just it's not proper soil. So what we're gonna do, and we started this last year, is I'm starting to build in the same row every year, and we used to move them. Crop rotation, kind of crop rotation too, because we moved the tomatoes over here. The corn's always been the same place, but last year I mulched this row with just grass clippings. I didn't have the wood chips in. And then I did kind of work it in with a hoe to kind of get the weeds that came up through, because it hasn't built up that surface of mulch yet. I don't have enough clippings basically to just come in here and freaking douse the whole thing. So I'm just going to do row at a time and just build it up over the next couple of years and see how it goes. If it don't work, screw it. Here's our raspberries, and I noticed last night that we're going to start to get some ripe ones. That one's just about ripe. I'd say if I don't pick it now, the dang birds are going to get it. But since I haven't had one yet, you know what? Well, let's see. I was spraying. Yeah, I can taste it. I was spraying those the other day with my compost tea and fermented plant juice. So if you don't see me again, that's why, I guess. Doesn't taste that bad, but I can taste it. Anyways, last but not least, we've been light depping a white widow. And it's been trained out, so I don't know. I think it looks pretty good. It's not been topped. It was a clone. It was vegging at the same time as my big ones out in the mounds. So this is the same. The growth is the same age as the other ones, but the plant is still 21 years old. But if you guys didn't know that, the seed was popped in 2005 by a buddy of mine that I've recently come in contact with, and it's pretty damn cool. Anyways, I hope you guys can see that on there. It is starting to get frosty, but it's not the kind of frost you see on a lot of plants these days. But that's kind of the point. That's why I was really amped to see this plant and to get a chance to grow. We're going to see what it looks like to grow a 21-year-old white widow with these stinking little, he's moving pretty quick every time I move, but we got these house wrens in there. I think that's a magpie house. I can't remember what exactly it is. If it's a, I don't know, it's a bird that likes being in colonies anyways, but he's got his house in there, and boy, he likes making noise. They got babies in there right now, so they're doing a lot of bringing in a lot of bugs, and they better not be bees. I will say that. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. I'm ready to smoke one if anybody has the same inkling. Other than that, we've got our excuse me, apple tree. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Boom. Right here. And then there's another apple tree on the other side of it. Those are rose bushes. That's a rose bush there. Then we've got our pear tree right there. And another pear tree right here. That's just a baby. And then let's see what status the pepper plant is in. I'm not going to show it if I'm training it right now. I just don't remember. Okay, looks clear. This is my pepper plant. That one was purchased last spring, and then I brought it in the house, and we had all kinds of different complications. At one time, it had 3 leaves left on it. So right now, it basically has 3 main branches. But it's been trained around so much. If you guys can see in there, right there, makes a loop. Goes around in a circle there. But we got some peppers growing on it in a few places here. I made a lasagna yesterday or 2 days ago, and I was going to put these in it, but changed my mind. They just weren't quite there yet. But yeah, I plan on training that thing out and not up. So I'm not going to let it get any taller. Anytime a branch comes up, I'm just going to train it down. You got more surface area, more light penetration, and that is key on our favorite flower. And that's what we're doing out there. If you guys haven't seen that video, check it out. We're going for wide. But you know what? We're going for tops. Hopefully that translates into wide. I'm still figuring this shit out, but right now I decided to let the main branches, because they're not topped either. I find when I top the shit, that top point, when you spread them out and you try and train them, and even even when you let them grow up, that wants to split there so fucking bad. So I'm not topping them. It's not to say I won't before the end of the season, but right now I want all that stability in the structure. So that being said, we're growing all the insides basically, letting all that grow while keeping it kind of knocked down in a way and letting the tips. I just started this yesterday, this new kind of steering, let's say. So I'm keeping the tips of each of the main branches higher than the main part of the canopy to stimulate the growth on there. I was doing it the other way for a couple of days, well, like a week, but then all the freaking speed and growth going wide stopped and a bunch of the inner growth started. So I switched around and let those tips come up. And I haven't been out there today, but I expect to see, and over the next few days, more growth on those tips so I can spread them out farther, and that'll give us more square foot of canopy. I'm still not going to strip anything. Anything that comes off of those plants are going to be stuff that isn't getting light and falls off. Now, as long as I can keep them under control and trained out low enough, the light's going to go through completely to the ground, and everything out there should be A or B buds, and everything should get light. We're starting to creep over the edges of the mounds right now, and that's going to be fun because now it's going to. Oops, my camera's partly covered. See, now when you're growing them like that, the problem I had last year was air wants to get underneath it. It's like a big fucking sail, and air wants to get underneath it. And what happened last year is they're flat like this, and then the wind came up and it freaking closed one half of it up, and it shut it like a clamshell. And then when I tried to spread it back open again, all hell broke loose. So I need to keep it flat. It needs to stay close to the ground, but it can't be on the ground because you're going to start getting fucking no airflow on the mound. But once you get past the mound, I don't have to worry about that airflow because it's completely open underneath that for a couple of feet. So it'll all it's all playing out in here. It's never been seen before, at least by me. I don't know if anybody else has done anything like this. I know back in the day, they used to spread them out across the ground, stake them out. But then I believe they would probably still have to trellis because it doesn't build your plant structure like this does, like my gadget does. Uh, so I don't know. It's all yet to be seen. But I have in my head, I see fucking amazing shit, and it's gonna be stuff that I don't know if it's ever been seen. So um, I'm looking at right now out of the 3 plants I have trained, probably 200 tops. But those are tops that are just being formed at the moment, and it'll be about 2 weeks before we can actually count them or whatever. I'm still going to try for 20 feet. My calculations are growing at 6 inches to a foot a week wide, and that's on each side. So we're getting probably a foot to 2 feet a week new growth horizontally. They're just about 6 feet wide now, and they're in the stage of being trained back down. So I can't say. I'd say at the max they're 20 inches tall. So 6 feet wide, almost 6 feet wide and 20 inches tall. Um, Two of them, one of them's over the side of the mound. Two of them are really close to being completely open underneath. So that's going to be really cool to watch happen. And then all these tops are going to be coming out over the next couple of weeks. And how I'm doing it will be covered up by leaves. So uh, I'll be able to show a little more. And it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see people's reactions. Uh, there was something else. Oh, we were going to smoke one too. Let's see. That might be over here. Yeah, it is. There was something else. I don't know. Anyways, what does everybody got going on? Big Germ, good to see you. What does one more quarter say there? Oh, nice. Okay. If you get a chance. Okay, yeah, no kidding. I will check that out. One more quarter. Absolutely. You guys, I know you guys all know each other, but there may be people watching at some point that are from my area that are not on YouTube much. I want to encourage them to open up the live stream chat and check out all the people that are checking out what I've got going on here. And if they have a blue name, um, they're verified to me to be top-notch people that I've come to know over the last 2 years on YouTube, and love them all to death. So you new people need to get on here, on our chats, let us know you're here, show up for the lives, become part of the community, and you guys are watching what's going on. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. You guys are watching what's going on now with what I'm doing. Some of you kind of have the background of everything. Um, Sooner or later, this thing's going to catch on. We'll get it made, and it'll be around the world. But if anybody in the community is a lawyer, has a lawyer friend, or any other components that I will need to put this all together. We're going to need freaking some guy that has some kind of knowledge with banking and blah, blah, blah. Business, I know nothing about business. I know nothing about computers. Mainly what I want to do, I don't think we need to do like a GoFundMe or whatever, but what I want to do is get this invention a community thing. I have my parents and my siblings, but I don't have any kids of my own. So if this goes anywhere, I don't want to just go to the freaking state or the government. So I've come to the decision to put this out to the YouTube in the cannabis community and say if there's some way we can all come together to get this made, it'll go to the community. I have one thing that I want to do, and I want to purchase this property, and that will ultimately become part of this whole fucking deal. But um, I trained out that fucking pepper plant with it. I'm training a fucking pear tree with it. And you're seeing right now history being made with my cannabis plants. All right. And I'm using an old school strain. I'm doing it the hard way by using clones. If I was using seed plants right now, those plants would be, well, I do, let's say I do have a seed plant going. It's a little experiment. It's probably bigger than the other ones, but I'm not paying as much attention to it. It's more of a pheno hunt than it is actually. I've trained out big plants before and they turned out shit. I've also grown the big balls before. This is why I'm doing the flat shit now. The big balls, okay? Just the tops are any good on them fucking things. If you're a smoker, you want just the tops, okay? You can make food out of your fucking leaves if you want to. All I grow now is the tops, and I don't strip shit out. All right? If you train them out wide, all there are tops. So I'm talking. I ultimately I want to see freaking roses. Long stem roses is what I'm going to be passing out to people. But you guys are in control of that part. If you guys can get a group together that can freaking get this taken care of, I'll give you the fucking reins. I get half of it. but then I'm going to share it with everybody. All right. So, anyways, all we need is a plastic company and worldwide shipping. And actually, where I'm at right now is going to be the hub of North America's shipping, or northern part of the United States shipping and part of Canada. Sometime in the future, if you can believe that. Anyways, if you look at Interstate 35 in Minnesota, the one that runs all the way through the middle of the country to Texas, I can almost reach out and touch it from where I'm at right now. And this property is industrial property. So, anyways, I almost think I felt the raindrop. So we're gonna. I got some grass clippings put down, and I don't know. Well, no, nobody wants to watch that. It ain't nothing that fucking nothing we need to be wasting fucking energy on. So, cheers, everybody. I will have weekly videos of plants. Now, more than likely, since I'm using my trail cam and it has a short in it, I can't freaking move it around a lot. So I'm just going to be focused on one plant. But look at that plant and see the area around it. I have 3 plants trained out and they almost look identical, but I'm probably only going to be showing 1 or 2 max. I can only get 1 or 2 of them in a shot at one time. And like I said, if I pick it up and try and move it, the fucker shuts off on me. So I'll be showing individual plants. They're in their own mounds. So you'll be able to identify all 3 different plants by the mound they're in. And so far I've shown 2 different ones. So if you look at those last 2 videos, or I put out like 4 or 5 videos the last couple of days, but 2 of those videos show plants. As far as I remember, they do for sure, but there may be more. Look at those plants. They're both 2 different plants. And there's a third one that are all going to be the same. So I don't know if it's a good 40 feet probably of space. I have them in a row. I'm going to try and fill that 40 feet of space lengthwise, 10 feet or 20 feet wide. Well, shit, it's got to be more than that then. I don't know. Stay tuned. We're going to fill a fucking my whole grow with fucking buds. All right. Love y'all. Peace.